Currently we're kind of expecting a pretty wet winter, which in Service Area 3 can mean a lot of different things. You know, we hover around that 1 degree, -1 degree quite often, so it could mean a lot of rain, could mean a lot of snow, will likely mean a lot of icing conditions as temperatures fluctuate through the day. So we're going to be very active out there with patrolling with our brine units to prevent icing on the highways. And then of course we're doubling our staff through the winter and putting on all the extra shifts. It was a relatively mild winter, but there was no shortage of weather events for us to respond to. We had a lot of heavy rain events. Mount Washington had some difficulties with rain in the middle of the winter. So we're finding that as the world evolves with climate change, that forecasting seems to be a little bit less reliable. We're seeing more volatility in our events. So because of that, we're having to step up our patrols a bit more when there's an event. So we're preparing for a little bit more than might be forecasted and increasing patrols in areas that we know are hot spots. For the traveling public and the residents in Service Area 3, North Vancouver Island, you know, we don't get a lot of snow events, depending where you are. We like to hope it just stays up on Mount Washington and the freezing level stays high, but that's not always the case. So we just have to be prepared through the winter when these events are forecasted. And so drivers should be prepared to give themselves extra time, or you know, if you have an option to work remotely, perhaps might be a good idea as well. It does take us a little bit of time to get those roads back to good condition, so you have to be patient with our plow operators and make sure you give them lots of space and time to do their job. Mainroad North Island has fleet stationed all throughout the service area and 9 different maintenance yards. Fleet's all winter ready and prepared with hoppers, plows. We're good to go for the next event that comes. In Service Area 3, we can have very volatile conditions depending on where you are. We could have snow on Highway 19 and bare and wet on Highway 19A just down the road. You know, the Comox can be rain and Cumberland can be full of snow. So just be aware that as you do travel through the service area, conditions can change quite a bit from one spot to the other, and you need to be prepared for that. First thing I would advise people is check Drive BC and see what the conditions are out there. Second is, you know, when you go out and you get in your car, if you have to scrape the windshield, there's a high chance that there's going to be some icy conditions out there. You need to give yourself some extra time, give yourself lots of extra space. If you do see our plow trucks out there, give them lots of room to do their job. The road behind them is always better than the road in front of them. That's something to keep in mind, even if it's taken a little bit of extra time. And then within the service area, we do have a lot of black ice that does occur. Despite our best efforts, we can put out brine and be patrolling, but small little microclimates can happen and black ice can occur no matter what the highway maintenance contractors do. So be very cognizant that it can be slippery conditions when we're around that 1 degrees to -1 degrees in the mornings. If you want more information about how we do things, mainroad.ca has a great section for the North Vancouver Island area, and we have an FAQ on how we prepare and deliver highway maintenance in the winter and such. Let's all have a safe winter.